Peace everyone, Unmasked here, and welcome to the last day of Inktober 2018. That is right, we have finally made it to the last day of Inktober. It is all over after this. We did it. It was a long and painful struggle for many of you that participated, but we did finally do it. So thank you for following me along for this month. I hope that you guys have enjoyed these daily streams as much as I have. And today's prompt is slice. So before I get started, I know it's a bittersweet, but let me share the drawings that you did for yesterday's prompt, which was Jolt. I noticed a couple Jolteons in there, like I did, and I also noticed this drink called Jolt. I had actually never heard of it before, so it was interesting. Learned something. A lot of really fantastic work that you guys have submitted this entire month. I am so thoroughly impressed with all of your work. It has been a journey. There's been anywhere between 20, I think 22, or no, 19 was like the lowest number of drawings. So there was that one day where I think everybody was a little tired, but we made it through. There had to have been somewhere of like 600 drawings that you guys submitted for this entire month. That is so much artwork, like 600 drawings. Like that's bare minimum. That is like the bare minimum that I think that it was. It was probably over 600. There was so many. I loved looking at them. They were so inspirational. They definitely kept me inspired, knowing that you guys were going through with me, and you should all be very, very proud that you made it through. So quickly, let me say hello to everybody I see in the chat. Talia, Scott, Mindy, Danny, Mache, Pumpkin Spice, Lily, Paulo, Tatiana, Barbara, Misty, Kathleen, Sneaks, Brenda, Hildy, Christy, Kathleen. Did I already say Kathleen? I'm might be repeating. Nick, Zon, Coffee Cat, Steve. Thank you all so much for coming by and hanging out with me. It has been a long month, but it has been wonderful as well. So let's go ahead and get to the coloring here. I don't know if you can see on my paper, the drawing is rather light, but I'm doing a orange slice with nugget next to it. So that is going to be my drawing for today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with some of my markers here and start coloring in this orange. I hope you guys had a lot of fun this year for Inktober. I appreciate all the new subscribers and all the new family members that have joined the Facebook group and shared your Inktober drawings, and all of that has been a wonderful time for me as well. You guys helped me through a lot this month, more than you know, and so for that I thank you, and hopefully we can have this one last Inktober stream, have a lot of fun. But the streaming's not over, so don't you worry. I'm going to be streaming over on Patreon tomorrow. For those of you that want to join me over on Patreon, we are still working on a dog portrait in colored pencils, and so I'll be doing that tomorrow, same time as I am doing this stream. And then the next stream will be on Monday. I'll probably just do I don't know, maybe a drawing journal, maybe something else. We'll see. I'll do something, I promise. It might just be a drawing journal, something where we can just hang out and relax. And then also I'll be organizing the family stream schedule with the other artists that want to participate and be on the family stream schedule, so that we can keep meeting and keep hanging out with all the lovely people that we've met this past month. I know a number of you met last year when I did Inktober and have become good friends. In fact, many of you I consider good friends, and I met you last year for Inktober, so it was very good. Oh, hello Wendy and Cece. We are going to miss you here every day. Well, I do appreciate that, Andrea. I won't take too many days off, I promise. Today I have finally got my new markers. Oh, that's awesome. So how about Inktober? Oh, I don't know about that, Lily. You can certainly do an Inkvember if you'd like. A Markervember. Can you do a cross-hatching tutorial? I don't know if I will do such a tutorial. Cross-hatching is a shading technique that is a little bit more free-form. It's not really an exact science, so cross-hatching is literally just drawing lines in one direction and drawing lines in the other direction, and you do that to shade. The more lines you draw, the darker the value shows up. So you can simply use that rule to get better at cross-hatching. Cross-hatching is one of those techniques that it doesn't require a lot of time to learn. It just requires a lot of practice to do well. So just keep at it, and you'll find the improvement that you're looking for. Because I'm not sure if a tutorial on cross-hatching specifically is really a necessary thing, because there's really nothing to it other than practicing and finding the style that you like. Oh, hello Mindy and Co. and Catherine. Glad you made it to the final day of Inktober. My lovely wife and I, we had a great date night last night. We went to one of our favorite restaurants, Buina, which is this vegan/vegetarian cafe. We always get Seton wraps, spicy Seton wraps from. I think I mentioned them previously. And then we went to our favorite ice cream place, because on Tuesdays and Fridays is vegan ice cream day, and they had two flavors. They had salted sunflower seeds, which was good. It tasted like kind of like peanut butter, but you could tell you could definitely taste the sunflower seed, and it was good. But they had another flavor, which was raisins and brandy, and that one, even though it kind of burned your throat a little bit because they legitimately use brandy, it was really tasty. It had a nice creamy flavor to it, and then it had bits of raisins. Not too many raisins, so it wasn't like weird texture or anything, but it was surprisingly good. I didn't really have high hopes for it, but it was actually surprisingly good. And yeah, so I got some of that. And then we did finally indeed go see Venom. We saw the new Venom movie, and I enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed the new Venom movie, though my wife and I, we definitely had plenty to complain about after the movie, because the ending strongly implies the next movie will be coming out, and I look forward to it. And the villain will be Carnage, which is totally rad. But oh, man, it had some really, really glaring mistakes and issues. So I thought that would be kind of a fun topic. I really enjoy tearing movies apart. It's like a hobby I never really acknowledged. Since I've gotten into filmmaking and making content and making videos and stuff, I've learned a lot about film and camera work and storytelling and all of that. And so I focus on it a lot when I watch movies. Tom Hardy was spectacular in the movie. He played Venom. He played Eddie Brock phenomenally, which was not surprising. He's a great actor. He's one of my favorites for sure. However, real quick, can you guys tell me if this, I don't know, something looks weird on my, is this overexposed? For me, it looks like my white balance is weird. I was trying to fix my, I don't know, for some reason on my screen it looks really blue. Is it me or does it look blue? I can't get rid of the blue. I don't get it. That's too warm. For some reason, I don't know why it's doing that. Not sure why it's doing that. It might just have to stay slightly blue for some reason. Stop, it's fine now. Okay. I won't change it. On my screen it looks really, really blue right now, so I won't touch it anymore. I changed it back. Anyways, let me continue on with my movie critique of Venom. Also, let me see if I missed any questions. Hopefully I did not. Oh, hello, Virginia. Good morning to you. Okay. So, the love interest. I'm not gonna spoil any of the movie. I'll just talk about the story and the characters, but not what happens in the movie. Although it's not. This movie, some parts are so bad that you can't really spoil anything. So Eddie Brock's love interest, I don't know the actress, probably because she's garbage, but she did not fit in the movie at all. I don't know who cast the girl that he is in love with in the movie, but she was just so bad in the movie. Her character was so not believable, and it was like she wasn't even trying or something like that. Wait, is it? Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Is it blue or not? Okay, I went back to what it was originally. You guys said it's not blue, but it was fine before. Is it blue now? I'm not going to change anything until I get confirmation. Because it looks blue on my screen. It doesn't look blue on my camera, but it looks blue on my monitor. It is not white. Okay, so it is blue. It's blue. Oh, gosh darn it. What is going on? I didn't change anything. I didn't change anything. Let me try to blind my camera a little bit. It's bluish. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not... This should be white. This should be white, and on my screen it looks blue. I look blue. Okay, my camera is... I don't know what the deal is. I'm leaving it alone. I'm leaving it alone. I'm taking your guys' advice. I don't know what the deal is. Anyways, let's get back to the movie review. Okay. When my wife and I left the movie theater, I was like, I give it a 7. I give the movie a 7. The number one issue that I had, which dropped it from down to a 7, because a 7 is not a good score in my book for a movie. It is an easy movie to enjoy. It's an easy movie to enjoy for sure, and I think that the people that did like reviews online, they were unnecessarily harsh to the movie, because I think the movie is very easily enjoyable and rather good, in fact. But the biggest problem is the villain. The villain in the movie is just poorly written. It's just poorly written. There's really no way around it. The villain in the movie is bad, and usually in like superhero movies, or actually it doesn't even really need to be superhero movies. It could just be any regular movie where you have a good guy and a bad guy type scenario. Usually when you have that kind of dynamic in a story, any protagonist antagonist type situation, you want to be able to have some kind of relation with the villain, because you want, or the good guy in some way, you want to have some kind of like emotional investment that you root for the good guy. Like, that's the thing, right? You want to be rooting for the good guy, but the villain, you almost don't even care. Like, there's the dynamic between the two, you just don't believe it in the movie, because it's not like displayed well. It's not explained. It's not shown. It's just kind of forced upon you, and you have to accept that this guy is the bad guy, and you don't like him. That's about it, but you don't like despise him, and it just seems off a little bit. It's hard to explain, but that's the big thing that I had a problem with, that probably brought down my personal score of the movie pretty significantly. The other thing that brought down the score significantly for me was that the love interest, oh my gosh, she's just annoying. you don't even want, like, usually when the good guy or the person, the protagonist that you're following, it's really important that you care about the protagonist, right? It's really important in a story. And in this case, you sort of, kind of, a little bit do. I mean, I would say you mostly care about him because it's Tom Hardy and you want him to do good, and he does good in the movie. He's great in the movie, but as a character, you don't really get all that emotionally invested in him. It's Tom Hardy. You want him to be cool, and the problem with the love interest is that you don't like her at all. You don't even like her, and you don't want them even to be together. And so you don't care about her, right? You don't. And somehow they try to force it upon you that they should be together. I'm not saying like that they are or aren't together, but it's just, you know, when you watch like a Spider-Man movie and he has to like break up with his girlfriend or whatever, you always want them to work out. Like even in the not so good Spider-Man movies, you still want him and Mary Jane to like be together, because they spent enough time developing that relationship where you want it to work out, but you know that it can't, kind of thing. But in this movie, they don't do that. You couldn't care less, not to mention her acting is atrocious to the point that it's just annoying. And so you actually would prefer it not to work out. But they just keep forcing it upon you in her terrible acting, and you'd prefer it just to move on. But it doesn't. Those were the two biggest issues that I had with the movie. The other really big issue that I had with the movie, or let me just say moderate issue, is the action scenes where you have individuals fighting. The camera work. The camera work is so bad. It is so bad that you don't even need to have my perspective on camera work to know that it's bad, because you can't see anything. It is just a blurry blob of shenanigans. Anytime there's action, it's just a blurry mess, and you can't root for anybody. You know the bad guy and the good guy is fighting, but you have no idea what's going on because it is just a blur of nonsense the entire time. It's all like that really close-up action shooting where you can't tell whose fist is flying and who's being flown back, because it's like zoomed in to where it's just looking like this. It just looks like this. It's ridiculous. Even my wife recognized it, and she does not pay attention to those kind of things in movies the way that I do, because I really pay attention to that stuff in movies. And I was getting like motion sickness. I was like, good God, I can't even watch this. It's ridiculous. There's some action scenes that don't involve people fighting that are pretty good, like a car chase type thing, and it's done fairly well. But oh my goodness, the action stuff, just take some motion sickness pills if you go watch it in the theaters, because it's kind of ridiculous. Was not expecting that part. But prepare to laugh. The movie's relatively funny, actually, which I was genuinely impressed by. I never really equated Tom Hardy to be a funny individual, but he's really funny in this movie, and some of the scenes some of the funny stuff that happens is rather comical and enjoyable to watch, and quite funny. So yeah, it's definitely good in that department, which is a pleasant surprise. But there are details, like I'm not going to go through the details because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but there's details of the movie that when you watch it, you're like, why are they showing me this? They do like these kind of sort of side story things that you're like, you could have taken that out of the movie and it would have made just as much sense. Okay, I'm going to give you one example that doesn't spoil anything at all. So Tom Hardy's character, he's an investigative reporter, which this is information that's given in the trailer, and so he has that kind of personality, I guess, if you can kind of think of how that is. But he goes to this same corner store, all right? He's a regular at this corner store because it's like by where he lives or something like that. And he's apparently like really good friends with this homeless lady that sits outside the store. And yeah, for some reason it shows this one scene, this interaction with them regarding newspapers. And what you know is that he is completely broke. Okay, he has no money. All right, it's literally the scene right before this scene. Okay, we find out that he's totally broke. That's all I'm going to give you. But when you watch the movie, you're going to be like, what? He's totally broke, right? The next scene completely contradicts it. So much so, it's glaring. And you think, like, why would they? It's not only a huge contradiction to the previous scene, but it's completely irrelevant. And it's just, it just blew me away. I was like, what? During the movie, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, why would they do that? And there's just some things in the movie that you just can't see past. Yeah, rather super harsh review, but I did like the movie. I liked the movie, genuinely. It was very enjoyable to watch, but there's things that drive me nuts about it. And those are some of the things that drove me nuts about it. I was contemplating whether or not I would outline Nugget, but I don't know. I'm not outlining the orange. I'm not done with the orange though. Maybe I'll outline it just so it looks so that it feels a bit more natural, but for now I'm gonna leave it like this. You want to know when I can come back to Poland? Well, why don't you plan on coming back to Poland in like March or April or something like that? Or maybe, when is trying to think, June? Is it June? No. June, March, April. Like May? Or I don't know. You can come back whenever you want. The time frame that you came last time was a good time frame, but maybe we could schedule it around a pre-release. There's going to be a pre-release in February, if I'm not mistaken. The next set of Ravnica cards comes out But then there should also be another one, I think, in May. I'd have to check the schedule, but we could plan it around that so that we could do some pre-release events. What markers do I use? I use the Pantone Tria by Letraset. They're like 20 years old or older, I'm not actually sure. And they are discontinued, so you are not able to buy them anymore. So, sorry about that. The marker subject has come up several times this Inktober. Next year I'll be well prepared with my new set of Copic markers, thanks to all of the super chat donations that you guys have been blessing me with this month. I really appreciate all of you that did the super chat this month. It was very kind of you, and it really means a lot to me that you guys do that for me. And I look forward to getting my new set of markers once I get back from my trip to America. Once I get back, I will painfully order all the art supplies that I want to get. I say painfully because the last time I looked, it was like around $1,500. So yeah, it will be the largest order of art supplies I'd ever done in my life. I look forward to it though. Which one of us is older? Cece is my older sister. I am actually the second youngest. My brother Ryan is the youngest. Who's the winner of the challenge? That will not be announced yet. Actually, I'm glad that you brought it up though, Brenda. Because today is the last day. Today is the last day to turn in your Inktober. No, your coloring competition drawings. So don't forget to do that. If you haven't done it, there's still a little bit. I mean, essentially you have until I wake up tomorrow morning. So midnight East Coast time, Eastern Standard Time. So you have the rest of the day to color it and turn it in. I have the link for the line art and everything in the video description. Hopefully you will do the one line art challenge. You know, I don't really do a lot of the like the YouTube art challenge things. I don't really have the time in my schedule to do those. I've done some challenges in the past which were fun, but the one line challenge, I don't know if I'll do that one. Oh, hello Vegan Mac. I'm glad you were able to make it to the last day. Yeah, it is a bit of a shame that good supplies cost a lot. Yes, sculpture too, for the contest, not just drawing. So the line art is more of a guide rather than a rule for the coloring competition. All mediums are accepted, and I already do have one sculpture submitted for the challenge. Alright, time to start coloring in a little nugget here. Still not done with the orange. I need to add in the white highlights with the gel pen so that it looks nice and shiny. I think I saw someone in the chat say yesterday that I better draw Nugget today for the final Inktober stream, so here he is. You know, I was checking my analytics yesterday for my channel, and I cannot believe how much people have been watching. It's really, really crazy. So in the past month, people have watched over 2 million minutes of my videos. Like, that is a ridiculous amount of time. Like, that's like 4 years or something. That's so much in just the last month. That I can't even comprehend how much time that is. Let's talk music. What are you into? Misty, I listen to heavy metal. If you can believe that. I know many of you can believe it because I've shared some of my music on the live stream previously. I've come to like Nugget. I'm not really a fan of snails, but Nugget is cute. Well, actually, Nugget is a slug. He's not a snail. He's a slug. The difference being the shell. I just bought a set of Copic markers, and it's really nice to use. I love it. You got to try. Yes, I definitely intend to try. I will be buying probably 2 sets simultaneously, because there's such a generous crowd of people have been supporting me with the super chat this month, giving me a little bit extra to add to the marker fund, which I'm very, very grateful for. And I might even do a few marker tutorials. I don't really see anybody using markers the way that I use markers, creating the more realistic looking marker drawings. So I think a tutorial would do good on YouTube. Oh, your husband is a bass player. Oh, cool. In German, a slug is a naked snail. I'm super happy to hear all the viewing that has happened in the channel. Thank you, CC. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy this month. Very, very crazy. I mean, my channel has been growing very, very consistently all year. I was really, really hoping. I was really, really hoping that by the end of Inktober, I'd get to 50,000 subscribers. I think by the end of today, I'll be at 46,000, or I mean 46,000. So I'm just shy of what I was hoping for. But for sure, by the end of the year, I think that I will manage to get to that 50,000 mark. I'll put out a few more videos, and I think it will go well from there. A few more live streams teaching pastels, all of that. Yeah, I think it will go rather well. Heavy metal. What are my top artists? I would say some of my all-time favorite, strictly speaking, metal would probably be like Periphery, The Human Abstract, Monuments, trying to think of who else I really enjoy. But I listen to a lot of instrumental metal as well, like Pliny, Intervals, Polyphia, Jakub Zaczewski, David Maxim Mikic. Those are some of my favorite instrumental metal music bands, thingies, artists, because they're just individuals. Yeah, Nugget is drooling a bit over, oh yes, of course, Volumes and Dance Gavin Dance, definitely some more of my favorites. You can pretty much ask my sister Cece what music I like, because we listen to like identical music. We're constantly sharing songs that we discover on YouTube and other music streaming platforms. Nugget, by the way, his favorite fruit is cherries, but I felt that a slice of a cherry made a lot less sense than an orange, and Nugget loves oranges too. He's definitely a fan of oranges. How do I manage my hair? Very carefully. I think ways to color fruit or still life would be a cool video. Yeah, doing something like that with markers in general would be kind of cool. I think that would make for a good tutorial. No, but in all seriousness, I like taking care of my hair is a painful process. I spend a lot of time on it. I mean, I wash it like a normal person. And then what I have to do, I actually just washed it, and it just finished drying, like later last night. But I have to use I have to use a tool like this. I take a lock, and I use this tool to feed it through the root of the lock, and then I put the end of one of my locks on it like this, and then I pull that through the root, and that's called interlocking. And it feels like your like skull is open, and when you interlock a lock, it feels like you're like tightening a shoelace that like closes your head. It feels really weird, and there's no like really obvious way to explain what it feels like. It's just an experience that if you've never had locks before, then you can never really understand what it feels like, because it is such a unique feeling to have your locks interlocked. I remember the first time. It took about 10 months of maintaining my hair, getting my locks started before I got my first interlocking, and it was just so weird. It's still weird. I mean, I often will be like sitting in bed or something, and I'm constantly checking my locks to see which ones are loose, and I just use my tool to interlock it, and I do it all the time. Like I always have my tool here because sometimes if I'm just sitting here like watching a video or something, I'm always up in my hair checking my locks, and when I find a loose one, I just grab my tool, I interlock it, and it's just like a daily routine, very pretty much. Oh yeah, it's gonna feel extra strange when I cut them, yeah. Yeah, think of how much more art I could do if I didn't have to maintain all my locks, for sure. Oh, well, thank you, Amin. Appreciate you, from India. That's very cool. Alright, let's see here. I'm gonna grab my gel pen and create some glistening bits on my orange here. I didn't really have much expectation for how long today's stream was going to be, or how long this drawing was going to take. I'm going to do these highlights here, and then I'm going to do the drop shadow, and this drawing here will be complete. So if you guys have any last minute questions, definitely don't hesitate to ask, because today's stream surprisingly might be one of the shorter streams, but no worries, I'll be doing more streams in the future, so it won't be your last chance. It will just be the last Inktober drawing. Yeah, I think we're all gonna miss Inktober a little bit, Gina. It was the same feelings last year, bittersweet ending. We always have a lot of fun, you know, getting to know one another. I know that you guys have met some great people this month, and I've met some great people. That's why I really enjoy Inktober, because we all get to kind of know each other a little bit better, and we just hang out, have fun, have conversations like we're friends, meeting up, you know, to just doodle about and create and have fun. And I think that's what appeals to me the most about Inktober, is just getting to know another group of people. You know, my Facebook family page, the group, the Unmasked Family group, we're well over 500 family members now, and I didn't know what to expect with the group when I first started it. I started the group, I think, halfway through Inktober of last year, because I was like, a few people were making the suggestion during the stream, and I was like, you know what, I should just start a group. And I knew what I wanted the group not to be. I didn't want it to be a place where people just like share their drawings, trying to, you know, self-promote and all of that. I wanted it to be an encouraging space. I wanted it to be a friendly space. I wanted it to be something where people could ask questions, get advice, and get inspired. And that was always the goal with the group. And I think that so far it's been really close to exactly what I'd hoped it'd be. And I can't take credit for that. You guys get all the credit for that, because you guys are the ones that are in the group, making friends, sharing advice, giving insight, inspiring, creating, and it's nice that it's grown so much this month, and I look forward to just getting to know everybody even more. And there'll be a whole nother year's worth of my live streams up until next year's Inktober. So how about doing a pastel painting of Venom? I don't know. I'm not sure. I liked the movie, but I don't know if I liked it that much. Venom did look pretty cool though. How will the contest winners be announced? I will put together a short video announcing the winners, and then once the winners claim their prize, then I'll just remove the video. That way, because when it comes to the contests and like the giveaways that I've done in the past, I never want it to be to people that don't actually watch my videos, because I know that, you know, that might happen. So I post the announcement video of the winners. I give them a week. If they don't claim their prize, then I pick a new winner. With this, I'll do the same thing, but it might be a little bit overkill, because the winners are the winners. Like, there's a first, second, third place, as opposed to just a giveaway where people are chosen randomly. Silly question, am I married? Yes, I am married, and I don't think that's too silly of a question. What are my favorite memes? I don't have any favorite memes. Have I experienced something new this year, Inktober, regarded to last year? Something new. I think just a general level of comfort. I was still relatively new to streaming last year for Inktober. This year, I think I'm pretty much on the ball. So I think I got it. I think I got this streaming thing down a little bit, and that's probably what's different. A bit more confidence with the drawings, doing them live. I would say probably that. You said that last year's Inktober didn't do much for your channel performance. How was this year? Yeah, that's absolutely right. Last year was terrible for my channel performance, which was a little disheartening. I thought that for sure daily upload streams would be a positive force for my channel growth, but it actually had the opposite effect last year. And I was rather confused and quite annoyed, as I was still, you know, trying to make this YouTube thing work full time, and you know, it was either make YouTube work full time or move back to the United States and live without my wife while I look for a job and a place for us to stay before dealing with the immigration process of bringing my wife to the country to live with me. Not to mention that she wouldn't be able to work while she's there, and it would just put even more stress on me to provide. And so it was that aspect that it got to me, not the numbers thing, in the sense like, you know, I want to be the biggest YouTube channel in the world. Nothing like that. It was just that I was putting in a lot of work last year for my channel to grow, and I just hit this point where it felt like I was spinning my wheels and not getting anywhere. This year, however, this year's already been amazing. I've quadrupled my subscribers since the beginning of the year. I started the year out with 10,000 subscribers, and now I'm at inching ever so close to 50,000, so almost quintupling. And Inktober, you know, Inktober actually doesn't do that much for my channel because it's not bringing in a lot of new subscribers, but it kind of helps with the YouTube algorithm a little bit, because there's more people watching my channel longer. So that's going to get my channel recommended more to people, because more people are watching it for longer periods of time. And that's what YouTube algorithm likes. The YouTube doesn't really care about the numbers of views, because the numbers of views is actually is worth less than the time that somebody is watching. And because of these live streams, most of you, a lot of you watch these live streams from the time you get here to the time that it is over. And at the end of the live stream, I can check the I can check the analytics for this specific live stream, so I know that you guys are watching it for like 20 minutes plus. On average, the average person watches my live streams for like 20 minutes, which is significant in YouTube's eyes, because that it drastically raises the number of minutes viewed for my videos, which the YouTube algorithm actually cares about. Because it's a lot different if, for instance, if I have a 10-minute video, I explained this once before, but if I have a 10-minute video and everybody is watching the entire 10 minutes, that video only has like 10,000 views, that video is worth more than somebody that has a 2-minute video that people only watch for 1 minute and 1 million people have watched it. So even though mine has 10,000, that one has 1 million, mine is more significant because it's the length of time that people are watching. What is the topic for next Monday's drawing journal? No topic yet. What I think I'm going to do for next Monday is I have that yoga pose somewhere in here. Yeah, I have this yoga pose that I want to continue working on, and I'm going to add colored pencils. So that's what I'm going to do for Monday's drawing journal, most likely. This drawing is done, by the way. I'm just trying to get through your guys' questions now. What is my favorite hyper car? I've never gotten that question before, and I don't know if I have a favorite hyper car. I'm not quite sure what a hyper car is. My favorite car is definitely a Tesla. Yeah. P90D is whatever. Yeah, that one. I saw how you traveled to Poland. Wow, what an adventure. I felt everything emotion you were going through. Yeah, that was definitely an emotional trip for sure. Just followed your Instagram. Drawings are mind-blowing. I will try them once. Oh, well, thank you, Amin. I appreciate the follow. Speaking of following, I've started using my Twitter a bit more often. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I do have the links for all of my social media in the description below. How are things working out for me now? Much better. Yes, indeed. Much better. I can safely go into 2019 doing YouTube full-time. I didn't actually quite reach my goal that I was hoping for, but I'm close enough to justify holding on for some more time. And if things in 2019 go well with my wife and I finding a house to move into, then I think things are going to get really good. Because we want to move into a house, and I already know what I want to do. Like I'm going to set up a studio. I'm going to set up a legitimate studio, and I'm going to put real money. Like I'm going to put real money into my YouTube channel for the first time. I'm talking like $5,000 or $6,000. Like that's like the type of investment that I'm looking to put into my channel next year, if things go well and I can find a place. Are you at a place now where it's sustainable for you to remain in Poland? Oh yes, where I'm at right now in my art career is that I'm beyond the sustainable and into the profitable as long as I remain in Poland. If I were to go to the United States, I wouldn't be able to survive. I wouldn't be able to do this. You know what may have been the reason why you have more views this year? It might be because you have advertised these more and you scheduled these beforehand so well. Maybe. The Facebook group definitely helps. The Facebook group definitely helps, I think. But also, last year I had like 8,000, maybe even less subscribers. So I mean, the fact that I have like 40,000 more subscribers than I did last year, I think that also kind of sort of makes a difference. Add some texture to Nugget. Nugget doesn't have texture. No, Nugget's done. This drawing is done. I'm just hanging out now. I'm just hanging out. Alright, Ko, you have a good night. Thank you so much. Oh, you knew I was going to say Tesla? Oh, hello, Renee. What black ink pens would I recommend the most for next Inktober? I would recommend the pens that I have in the description below. all the supplies that I list, I stand behind. Like, those are the supplies that I recommend. I would never suggest them, and I would never put links in the description if I didn't think they were worth getting, for sure. Thanks for the great Inktober, answering all the questions and great teaching. I'll miss the live streams every day, but look forward to the ones to come. Well, thank you very much, Christy. I very much appreciate that, and I look forward to the next live streams that I get to hang out with everyone as well. Don't forget us when you become a big YouTube star. Now, I promise the numbers don't change me. The numbers, I remember the people that were here from last year. I remember, and I will remember you guys that are here now. One of the things that I enjoy the most about having my channel is the people that I get to meet, and I remember you guys, like the people that were at the live stream last year that I got to meet for the first time. Wendy, Chrissy, Anna, so many more that I wish that I could name all at once. Elise, they are the moderators to the Facebook group. Like, we're friends on Facebook. We've done live streams together as well. I mean, I like that about it. And numbers, I don't, it doesn't matter how many more subscribers I get or anything like that, or how much more money I make doing YouTube. None of that could ever change me. None of that stuff is significant enough to make me a different person. Only people are significant enough to change me. And I promise to only ever change for the better, not the worse. Had a great Inktober. It was the first time I ever posted any of my pictures to anywhere. It was great to feel I could do it in a safe, criticism-free space. Thanks. Well, you're welcome, Danny. I'm glad that you felt comfortable enough to share your work, and I can assure you that the family definitely appreciated seeing it. How about our pictures? Are you going to show them tomorrow? Well, I'm not doing a stream tomorrow, and if you noticed, I changed the wording a little bit in the Facebook group. I still suggested posting your pictures in the comments so that the family could admire them, but there's there's no stream tomorrow. I thought about that when I was getting ready to post it, and I was like, oh, there's not a stream tomorrow, so I won't be sharing them. But I'll still be looking at them and appreciating them, and so will all the family members. I feel sad like it's all over. I haven't done mine today, and I have to finish yesterday's. Oh, thank you, Gina. I appreciate that. You inspired me a lot. Thank you for doing that. Oh, you are welcome, Scott. I am very, very glad to hear that. It is not a coincidence the group is called the Unmasked Family. No, indeed it is not. It was a very easy group to name. Very, very easy group to name. But I think that's it for questions. My drawing is done, which means my Inktober is officially over. And yeah, it's hard to do this final sign off, but I can assure you that I had an absolute blast with everyone for this Inktober. I am sincerely grateful, all of you that came by, hung out during the streams, asked your questions, inspired me. It was a pleasure getting to know all of the new people in the live stream, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next live stream. I'll be putting together a family stream time where I'll have other artists that stream signing up, and we will try to keep as close as we can. We'll try to get daily live streams so that we can always meet up every day on a different YouTube channel if it needs to be. I will be starting my new stream schedule. I will be streaming on Mondays and probably Tuesdays. Yeah, probably Mondays and Tuesdays for me, and then Thursday over on Patreon. I know that Chrissy from Exorcart, she streams every Wednesday, so she will be the other artist currently that's on the family stream list. I'll put a document together as soon as I get in touch with the other artists that want to do it. And if you are a regular streamer and you can fix a schedule, that's like the important thing. I want the schedule to be fixed so that it's a regular thing. Contact me. You can message me on Facebook, and we will. I can add you to the list or the possible list, and we'll just continue meeting up as much as possible, because it's so much fun. And it will be nice to be on the other side, you know. I'll come into the other streams that people are having to chat with people, and yeah. Anyways, that is going to be it. So I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your week. For those of you that support me on Patreon, I will see you tomorrow, the same time, and we'll do some more work with our puppy portrait. And for everyone else, I will see you on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend as well. Have a safe Halloween if you're in the United States, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.